Oh, I had a bit of a coughing fit. I had a little bit of chocolate and a bit of it kind of got a little, well, not stuck, but coughing in general is just terrible, but coughing because you've just eaten a bit of chocolate is just the worst. It's like an insult. Just like getting caught in the rain. So it is pouring down with rain here, and we're going to start the next episode of the Armrest Tambour, or Tambour Armrest. I think the name's kind of like made up. Anyway, today we are going to finish the Armrest Tambour, and it's a bit of a journey, so buckle in and let's go. How we doing? We're good, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Feels like I should have done something else. So a bit of a recap from last week. We were trying to find some baking paper to stop the slats from sticking to the makeshift table when we glue them. And I think, hold on, I think I found some. Ta-da! But baking paper. Paper itself is not as wide as we need, so it's going to be 2 bits. Snippety snip. It is the case, then we're just going to tape. Well, that's if this tape sticks. Because if glue doesn't stick, tape will probably not stick. You can't see what I'm doing, but that's okay. This is kind of not the important part, but you know, I can move it. Put a square on here. Okay, so that is essentially square. Now we need to clamp both sides, and thinking really desperately hard here. That's not the first time I've had to think desperately hard. Just did it then. In fact, it happens all the time. So I'm just kind of making this up as I go, and then you get to an impasse. That's why you have to think. Okay, so we've got that piece in there. That piece in there. What we really need is some other ones in here. So like 2 end ones. Yeah, when I put the glue on, I won't be able to get that last piece. It's moving. I don't want it to move. That's okay, we'll put it in place and then we'll tap them together. I'm using my table saw as a bench top, and it's a small top. Beneath the table saw there isn't really much of a place to hold a clamp. That's because it's a table saw. It's not a clamping station. Well, that's a bit horrible. Sebastian got the clamp stuck. I kind of need clamps. Oh, I don't want to use F clamps. I don't like F clamps. Only got one of them. It's better to go this way, because then I can tighten it. Oh, I do have another F clamp. Oh, gosh, that was a little frightening. Oh, did it again. Too tight, too tight. Well, I wasted a lot of time clamping. And this is what is going to go on top of that. So I need to cut a portion of this out. I didn't do my pants up properly. Look at that, amazing cutting. We will go and eat before I do this, because I've got a spray here. Probably just do it on the floor. Lunchtime. It took about 30 minutes to get to that point. Right behind me is the wood that we're about to spray. We've got some contact adhesive. It's high temp, water and salt resistant. Marine carpets. It's going to be for, you know, putting cups of tea on, so high temp. Put some breathing protection on, and we'll also, while we're here, put on some eye goggles, because why not, right? I don't know how well this is going to work, to be honest, but here goes nothing. 5 minutes. Time starts now. 5 minutes. Keep surfaces apart for up to 5 minutes or until adhesive is touch dry. I think that doesn't have an even coat on it. It's either going to work or it's going to be absolutely useless. If I haven't done a particularly good job with the audio on this one, we will just overdub it like we did the other one. So we're done 2 minutes. I didn't overdub. I made large subtitles because I'm blind. See? Bung eye. Right, we've got a minute to go. I think that is completely dry, so we're putting it down. We're putting it down now. And you can't see, but that's okay. I will turn so you can see. I'm going to go out from the center. This is actually the hardest part. I'm trying to just keep even pressure, but it's quite hard on the arms. Well, I think that's it. Full bond strength reached in 24 hours. I'm guessing after a very small amount, this will be dry. So we will just leave it here. Okay, well, the glue is glued. The glue is glued. Glue is on there. It seems to have stuck. I haven't actually tried. I'm going to be pulling the very last two end ones off, so I'll be able to tell then. But if it's sitting on a flat surface, it's doing okay. If I lift it, they're not completely tight. Now the first thing I've got to do here is cut some of this excess stuff off. Now I can't cut on my table saw because that's just silly. Display stuff never stuck to anything. I have this, a little sharp little blade. We'll run this top part here first because this part's actually going to get cut. Look at that, it just comes off that easy. How good is that edge? It could be better. Okay, now we're going to take this one off. Yeah, that's stuck there quite well. Well, the glue's doing its job. Well, that kind of didn't really work that well. What I'll need to do is re-glue some of this stuff, but I think the best option here is to actually use something like Uhu glue. This is also a contact adhesive. The contact spray stuff hasn't really bonded. Maybe I'm just doing this too early. And we'll try our best to just leave it and see what it's like tomorrow. I sprayed quite a bit here, and it actually stuck really well, but didn't stick particularly well everywhere else. Well, we'll just keep waiting for that one. Bummer. The oohooing, gluing oohoo. It was a lot of faffing around, and I made a bit of a mess. There was glue in between the slats. Gosh. Okay. Now I've just figured out a bit of a problem here. The problem is I stain in here, and then when it goes together it sticks. We'll just give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? I can completely ruin it. So it says thoroughly clean surface with floor clean. I don't have any floor clean, and I might put my mask on for this because that's got some smell to it. It's amazing. This just cuts out everything. You just no longer can smell. Okay, well, my method to do that could have been a lot better. It's pretty smooth. I've got some more gluing to do. You can actually see right there. There's that one. And there's that one. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how far it has gone. The finish on the wood is perfect. It's just the glue. So tomorrow we'll be finishing it off, but doing a lot of touch-ups on the glue. The glue does take 24 hours to dry, which is a bit of a shame. I've got to cut the sides so that it's a clean cut, and I've got a brand new blade on the compound miter saw, so I should be able to get that really clean. See you tomorrow. Well, let's take a nice close look at this unit. Most of this is glued on, but quite a bit of it is not. All of this stuff is coming off. Yeah, you can see it there. Look. This is where it gets a bit tricky, isn't it? What should I do? What should I do? Should I take each one off and re-glue it, or do it some other way? Okay, we're going to do two things. Now I need to call the vet. Hello, hi. I'm calling because my cat needs to come in and get his stitches taken out, and he's feeling good. He's bouncing around and feeling good, so yeah, doing well. Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Let's just try and reach in with this. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just have to do piece at a time, or let's not do that. Do you like my phone voice? How about you rate me in the comments? We'll go 1 being someone's put sand in your earlobe, and 10 being it put me to sleep and now they call me Rip Van Woodworker. The problem here is that if I stick it, it's stuck. Well, that's the other problem. Can you see that? Let's take the whole thing off and start again, because I will end up being stuck with this. I mean, seriously, this is so easy to take off. It's harder to take off the other stuff, but oh my God, that's... Do we try and take this off? Acetone? Acetone? I mean, yeah, but it's quite spicy, smelly. Smells spicy. Okay, we're back to square 14. We're going to have to set all that up again. What is this, the third time I've had to glue something here? Well, one of the more frustrating parts of filming is when you don't film. And I set all of this up. Went through this whole process of going through here, talking my way through it. Didn't record any of it. So basically what I've done is I originally had larger pieces of wood pushing these two sides together, but realized that when I glue this down, you got this edge here and you just can't get the material in there, so you miss that glue edge along there. So I just used smaller bits. Then I cut this new piece out. It hasn't been glued. We're going to do a test. Cut some other pieces of pleather. We're going to put the contact adhesive on here and time it until we find it sticky. Do we need to shake this? Stir well before use. And I'll stir for about a minute. You really want to get those solvents mixed in. Oh yeah, that's already sticky. Okay, we're waiting for tacky. I'll use a big brush for that. So is it better to brush it on? It might actually be better to brush it on, I think. Going to need to use a mask. That is quite pungent. So before I respirate badly, respirate is not a word. Yes it is. Harmful if inhaled. Wonderful. You know you're not doing well if you burst through the glove. Well, that's 6 minutes, and to be perfectly honest, I would want to put that on there. Did this work? I think it did. It took no time at all, to be honest. Now that we know that that's what it takes, it's about 5 minutes. And from what I can tell, 5 minutes on the wood, but no minutes on the fabric. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Definitely the strongest part of the bond is the wood. I did all this and I don't even have this open. How dumb was that? I probably stood in the way the whole time, didn't I? How terrible of me. I'm so sorry. Well, oh. Just realised that I can't put this on thick, and that's exactly what's going to happen with this. So I have to spread it out. No, this is not going to work. It's not going to work. Sorry, I know I'm in the way. Oh. I can't get that coverage that I want. Okay, that's just going to have to do. Camera is not on. I kind of ruined it. Switch the camera around. Roller. Where did I put the roller? Okay. this is the most frantic I've been in my life in a long time. I just don't know whether I got the right amount of coverage. There's generally no bubbles in this. Yeah, slightly less frantic time now. I can kind of go a little slower. This is now done. We've put it all the cement on and put it, rushed and all that kind of stuff. So that whole thing, from when I started the timer till now, which I'd still done, is 11 minutes. And it makes me wonder, have I done something wrong? We will see you tomorrow, I guess. There's no guess. It's the next day. So this is day 3, maybe. I've peeled back a bit of this because it's obviously stuck to this. I didn't think about that. Should have taped those, but that's for next time. We can pull those off. But this glue has stuck so well. None of it really went anywhere. It's a lot harder to get off. I mean, I can pull it off. It's not taking a lot of effort. It's just, I don't want to rip any off from the other bit. Oh, second nail I've hurt today. Well, that was perfect. I mean, that is stuck on there pretty good. I'm going to cut the edge to clean it up, both sides, and then trim off the excess. Okay, my idea was to kind of put it in there. I think that will work. A lot of setup. If we're going to cut this way, we need a way of lining it up so it's straight. I'm going to have to cut this off. So we've got a new blade on here. It's a finishing blade, so it's got 60 teeth. So hopefully this will make a really clean cut. It's actually made a clean cut anyway. Well, that was incredibly stupid. The pleather got caught in the blade housing at the back of the saw, and it jammed the blade and brought the saw to a stop. It could have pulled more into the blade, and I'm so lucky it wasn't my fingers. You know that was going to happen. I've actually got to do a few more things, a couple of edges, got to tidy up. Just a little bit of a clean up to get everything ready for final presentation. So I've now applied the poly, Wipon poly to this. It's drying in a sort of a arc to try and dry in between the slats, but it's a lot darker than what it was when it started out. And once this is dry, we will take a few pictures of it. And there we go. We're all done with the Armrest Tambour. The finish is quite amazing. It was so silky smooth. And all of that time that I spent sanding really made the difference. It was just silky smooth. It has gone to a new owner and they love it. So that won't be the only one that I make, but the next one that I make actually might be a little bit different to that one. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So you could probably come along here next week when you see some of this. Sorry, it's cold and it's raining and I'm snotty. I also want to acknowledge the multitudes of people who have been watching this video. I have been quite surprised, and thank you very much for watching. Maybe you could help me out. You could give the video a like and drop a comment in there. In fact, think of something that you might make your daughter for their birthday, because I'm thinking of making something for my daughter. I just kind of can't figure out what it should be. Anyway, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you, well, not behind me, but next week.